Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the next module in the High Ticket Affiliate Accelerator. In this module, we're going to cover the mindset for success. And I think this is probably the most important module, but it's also the module that most people will discount. So I hope you're not in that group of people. A lot of people wonder why they don't succeed, yet there's tons and tons of information out there on the internet outlining exactly what to do and how to do it, how to become rich, how to become abundant, how to, get rid of limiting beliefs, how to, make money with e-commerce, how to make money with affiliate marketing. A lot of the information is out there, but the problem is the fact that people don't have the right mindset as to how to take that information and, turn it into physical form and make money from it. And so in this module, in this specific video, I want to show you the mindset for success and what the actual mind looks like, and the same transformation that I went through to go from thinking that I couldn't do what I wanted in life, that I was predisposed to my parents' beliefs, and that if I wasn't born in a rich family, that I wasn't going to be wealthy, and all these different limiting garbage beliefs that I had, how I went from that to completely understanding that my past doesn't equal my future, and that I could write on the next page of my life anything that I wanted to. And that was quite liberating. So we're going to go through that. I'm going to show you that the road to success and the road to failure are almost exactly the same. You can get started in the wrong, industry. You can get started in something that is just completely off the beaten path. But because you have the right mindset, and because you have a mindset that has, willpower attached to it, that eventually, if you continue to seek out success, then you'll eventually be led on the right path. Some people are led on the right path from the get-go. They just find their passion, they know what they want to do, and they go out there and do it. Other people spin their wheels and they really can't find what they're passionate about, and they got to experiment with a lot of things. And through that experimentation, they develop the passion and then eventually go down the right path. So I hope this module serves you. Let's go ahead and let's get into it. So here's what we're going to cover in this specific module. I'm going to cover two things specifically. What does the mind look like, and how does it actually work? And then what is a paradigm, and how do we change paradigms? A lot of people can see what the body looks like, the different parts of the body, but when you describe the mind, most people just draw a blank, which leads them to a misunderstanding of themselves. And we're going to go deeper, of course, into paradigms and what these paradigms are and how they pretty much control you, just like the software within a computer. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. So what does the mind actually really look like? Well, you've got two parts of the mind, and I got to give credit to one of my mentors, Bob Proctor. I went to a seminar of his back in May, I believe, of 2015. And after going to that seminar, my income just skyrocketed, and he helped me understand what the mind actually looks like. And what I'm going to do beneath this video, because I don't consider myself a personal development expert. I'm just sharing with you what I know. I'm going to leave a link below that will take you to the same exact seminar that teaches a lot of this stuff in complete depth. I would watch this seminar 30 minutes a day, every single day. I think the seminar is about like 8 or 9 hours. But every bit of it has so much depth and so much value, and you're going to gain something new from it every time you watch it. So essentially, here's how the mind works. You've got the conscious mind, and then you've got the subconscious mind, and depending on what's going on in each of these two parts of the mind will control what the body is doing, okay? So, and again, credits to Bob Proctor. He's the one that created this little model that you're seeing here. And so the conscious mind, what the conscious mind does is it gives us the ability to reason. Okay, this part up here gives us the ability to problem solve. When we're first learning how to drive a car, we're consciously focusing on to press on the brake, press on the gas, look in our rear view mirrors, look around us, make sure that there's no oncoming traffic when we're trying to change lanes, so on and so forth. It gives us the ability to solve math problems. So anything that we're consciously focusing on, any problem solving that's taking place, that is controlled by the conscious mind. And then you have the subconscious mind, which is our programming. So it's our habits that were installed into us over time, the beliefs that our friends gave us about ourselves, the belief that our teachers gave us about ourselves, the beliefs that our parents gave us about ourselves, the beliefs that our ancestors gave our parents and then gave us about ourselves, so on and so forth. And so a lot of what's going on in your life right now is due to what's going on in the subconscious mind. A lot of what's going on you can't even recognize. So even if you went to try and change something about yourself, it's very difficult to do because you've got these years and years and years of programming. So for example, it's a lot easier to reprogram somebody that's 10 years old versus somebody that's 30 years old, or somebody that's 20 years old versus somebody that's 40 years old. So depending on what's going on in each of these parts of the mind is going to dictate what happens to the body. So if the conscious mind and the subconscious mind aren't congruent in the thinking, then what happens? Well, anxiety takes place, fear takes place, stress takes place. And so the way that I like to look at it is like a mathematical formula, right? If you have an X type subconscious, but you have a Y type idea that you're trying to press upon. Maybe it's this new belief about wealth. And maybe your subconscious mind is saying, you know what? Money is hard to come by. My parents barely scrape by for money. The only way to make money is through hard work and honesty alone. But then you've got this new internet business that you're trying to build, and the conscious mind, is essentially saying, hey, there's this new idea. I can do this thing called affiliate marketing. I can make 100% commissions. I can work no more than 2 hours a day. I can make money while I sleep. When that idea is trying to press upon the subconscious mind that has completely opposite beliefs, that's where a lot of this stress, this anxiety, this I can't do it, this fear takes place, and then it results in the body. The expression is shown in the body. So the actions that take place as a result of what's going on in the subconscious mind. So happiness, sadness, fear, anxiety, depression, disease, and decay. And so one of my mentors said, I can't remember exactly who it is. Bob Proctor actually quoted this. He said that we don't die, we kill ourselves. And that's so true. The times in my life where I'm dealing with brain fog, I'm dealing with stomach problems, I get sick. It's typically a result of stress. And so that just kind of goes to show you that if you can understand exactly what's going on in your mind and you can actually have the ability to recognize that and change it, then when you run into situations like this, you can almost release yourself from the problem and know exactly what you need to do to find that solution. So here's another perfect example. So you've got the conscious mind up here. This is like book knowledge, ability to repeat information. And then you have the subconscious mind, which is your paradigms, which we're going to talk about in just a second. Your programming and your genetic and environmental predispositions. So again, where you grew up, the beliefs that your family, your friends, coworkers, neighbors, teachers gave you. And then you have the body, the actions and results controlled by what's going on right here. And so at the end of the day, if you want to change your results, you've got to change yourself. You've got to change your identity. You've got to change your paradigm. You've got to change what's going on, what you're consciously thinking about, right? So let's go ahead and let's talk about what a paradigm actually is. A paradigm is a multitude of habits that are fixed in the subconscious mind. As I said, it's essentially your programming. And this image right here depicts it really well. So you've got your self-image. You've got things like money, how much money you make, what your bank account looks like, your weight, how physically fit you are, things like success, confidence, relationships. Do you have a girlfriend, wife, husband, boyfriend? And if you don't, how do you look at yourself as a result of that? And what I began doing to actually change part of my paradigm was understanding that the results up to this point in my life, whatever point that was, it was a result of just my current level of thinking. It was a result of what I had done up to that point. It wasn't who I was. It was just my results. That's it. And when I started thinking that a lot of these different factors like my weight, money, success, confidence, relationships wasn't just me. It wasn't me. It wasn't my identity. It was just results from the actions I was taking. I was able to rewrite the next page of my life and realize that, wow, this is so cool. My story of yesterday doesn't have to be my story today. But as they say, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. So what I began doing is I started reading books that proved my thought that, oh my gosh, I can rewrite my future. Yesterday does not need to be like today. And I started reading all these autobiographies of different people like, Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein, presidents of the United States, just thought leaders, Gandhi, thought leaders around the world. And a lot of them came from backgrounds where they were poor, they didn't have a lot of money, they didn't have a lot of resources, they failed many, many times. But there was a point where they had a breakthrough. And the way that they had that breakthrough is changing their self-image, realizing that, once again, what they were doing in the past, the environment that they were a part of in the past, does not need to dictate what's going to happen in the future. And so we'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about how to change your paradigms here in just a second. But I want to show you exactly how a paradigm is actually developed so you're aware of it. So you can finally, hopefully, relieve yourself from thinking that your identity is not even your identity. Your identity was created from your parents and from other people. So this is a perfect example. When you're an infant, you don't even have a subconscious mind. You have no programming because no information has gone through your mind. So the way that you develop that is through your family, your parents, most importantly. Of course, they always do the best that they can, but sometimes you don't really turn out the way that you had hoped. You've got the radio, TV advertisements, billboards. You've got TV, newspaper, and you got friends. You've got enemies. You've got things music that you listen to. You've got random strangers that you might listen to. And so as you listen to these things repetitively over time, you eventually form your subconscious. And then your subconscious, like we explained, shows through within the body, whether it be stress, anxiety, fear, the actions that you take. So if you're in a place where you're in an environment that's not conducive to your progression in your life and in your business, just look at the people around it. The best way to see somebody's results is to look at the people that they hang out with. And it's so true when they say that your income is in direct proportion to the 5 closest people that you hang out with. So if you truly want to change your current position, all you need to really change is your environment, change the people that you're around. And if you can't change the people that you're around, you need to get direct, indirect, and even direct mentors. So this is how we change our paradigm. And this is a perfect illustration of what goes on. I mean, if you look at your results right now and they're not what you want them to be, like what actions are you taking every single day? What are you listening to? Are you listening to garbage? Are you listening to things that aren't conducive to your goals? So if you're waking up every day and you're just listening to a bunch of, music that has no meaning to it, or that doesn't help you get to where you want to go, doesn't help you change limiting beliefs that you have, then it's just considered garbage. So, write down what type of garbage that you're listening to, whether it be from your friends, your family, your coworkers, people that you're around. And then on the other side of the paper, just draw a straight line. I want you to write down, things that you are listening to on a daily basis that are conducive to your success. And if things on the left-hand side, the garbage, is outweighing the things on the right-hand side, the things that really help you get towards your goals faster, then that's your problem right there. Just change what you listen to and you're going to change your results. But it's not always about what you're listening to. It's about what you're thinking as a result of what you're listening to. So go back and look at all the successful people in history. A lot of times you think like Mozart and Albert Einstein, they just came out of the womb and they were geniuses, but you don't realize the mentors that they have. So if they're getting garbage mentors in, then they're going to have garbage out. In other words, if you're listening to mentors that just have a bunch of garbage and are fakers, then, you're going to become a lot like them. But if you're listening to people, like, for example, you look at Albert Einstein, look at the other mathematicians that came before him that he listened to. And I'm not going to mention any names. I can't remember exactly specifically, but you can go back and you can do the research and you can see a lot of these famous people who their mentors were. So the idea here is every day you listen to the right people, you're going to start to develop the same results as the people that came before you. And eventually you'll even reach beyond them and get results that outweigh whatever they've been able to do in their lives. So here are some steps to change your paradigm. Make 90% of your activities, whether it be listening, watching, reading, and associating with mentors and entrepreneurs that are on the same path as you. So if it's going to meetups, hanging out in forums and groups, Facebook groups of people that think like you do, is going to be 90% of your success. Shut off the TV. This includes news and shows that don't further your education and help you reach your goals. Now, I'm not saying to completely shut off the TV. In the beginning, I would probably suggest that you do that. That's exactly what I did, because this is going to be the most crucial part of your success, is always the beginning stages. And it's going to be the hardest because you have a lot of paradigms that you need to change, a lot of habits that you need to change, and sometimes that can take time. And so to do this, I would recommend that 100% of your time be spent, your free time be spent on listening to audios, reading books, watching motivational, YouTube videos. That's one of the things that I used to do all the time. I would go to work, and when I worked in the jewelry store, we would open the store every single day and put all the jewelry in the cases, take all the jewelry out of the vault. And during this time, I would plug my headphones in and listen to that Bob Proctor seminar that I was talking about earlier within this presentation. So once I realized that, okay, let's spend 90% of the time listening to people that I want to listen to, that I need to listen to, that are going to help me reach my goals. And, we'll spend the rest of the time, the 10% of the time, listening to, my coworkers or even your family members. A lot of your family members are not going to believe in what you're doing. They're going to think that it's outside the box. They're going to think that it's different. But you have to look at the statistics. There's a reason why 2% of people in the world make about 96 to 97% of the money. And so to have somebody come to you that's, right around, the 96%, the 98% of people that don't think like the 2%, well, obviously they're going to think that you're strange. They're going to think that you're weird because you're doing something completely different than everybody else. You're doing what the 2% is doing instead of what the 98% are doing, right? So it's important that you shut off anything that's going to keep you from your goals. I don't care even if it's your friends. You're going to have to choose to hang out less with friends that don't support you and your goals. I can tell you over time, a lot of the friends that I had in high school, there's only a small select few that I still hang out with today. And the friends that I have today are other entrepreneurs or other people that are in the online marketing space. So you're going to notice that as your income changes, your friends are going to change and your environment's going to change. So you want to stay away from people that don't support your goals. And most importantly, write out a goal card. Write out your goals on a goal card. Sometimes this works incredibly well for people. I did more visualization techniques. That might work a little bit better for you. Plus, I was hungry. You need to have just a strong why. This is probably one of the most important things that you need to know within this module is you need to have a why. Why are you doing this? And if it's just for money, I'm sorry to say, but in about 2 weeks, you're probably going to quit this program. You're probably going to go look for the next shiny object and jump on something else. For me, the pain of working at my job was greater than the pain and insecurity of the unknown of building an online business. Because my pain was so high and my why was so high, which for me, it was just quitting my job. For some of you, that might not be deep enough. Like, how great is the pain? Is the pain larger than trying to go for your dreams? And what it is, you do whatever it takes. I started shooting videos. I'd never been on video before. I started doing things that I never thought in a million years that I would do. I went and spoke on stages, and that frightened me. I remember getting panic attacks and I would go the whole day without eating before getting on stage. But stepping out of my comfort zone has allowed me to grow and allowed me to become somebody that I never thought that I would become. It's allowed me to become a better communicator. It's allowed me to impact more people. So you have to realize that being able to change lives is just right outside of your comfort zone, and somebody needs and wants to hear your voice. So I want to inspire you to write out your why, write out your goals and your why on a goal card, carry it around in your pocket, laminate that card, look at it every single day and remind yourself what your goals are and why you're doing this. Because it could be so easy to fall off, as easy as it is to focus. And so you need to, every single day, I like to rewrite out my goals. I like to plan out my day. And we're going to get into my daily method of operation here in the next module. But it's important that you cover these, that you have your why, that you write your goals on a goal card, and that you look at these goals every single day. Okay, so here's an example of some students. I told them to write down 2 different goals, 2 different milestones over the year that they wanted to reach. And you can see, like, top right-hand corner, June 11th, 2019, I've made $5,000 in 1 month in my affiliate marketing business. And then by September 11th, I had my first $10,000 in 1 month with my affiliate marketing business. Top left-hand corner, I'm so happy and grateful now that I make $5,000 a month online. So having these type of incantations, which are these things that you tell yourself every day. And one of the other things that I learned is when you tell yourself a lie long enough and persistent enough, consistent enough, you actually start to believe it. And that's what happened with me. I remember it was, I think June 2014, right before I quit my job that October. I remember waking up one day and I'm like, holy crap, I believe in myself. I can do this. And it took a little while to get to that point because I had to eliminate a lot of these limiting beliefs that I had. But it was like this liberation and this weight lifted off of my shoulders. And it changed my life. It changed the game. It changed my future just by reading and listening to the same thing over and over again. Even if I didn't believe it initially, listening to it so much and suspending disbelief and getting to the point where, man, I believe this now. I'm blessed I gave this a chance. Sometimes you plant a seed and you have to water it consistently over time. The soil has to be right. The environment has to be right for that seed to grow into a beautiful, strong, green plant and continue to grow. Just like the thoughts that go into your mind. A mental seed is just as important as a physical seed. Just like a baby takes 9 months to be born. It takes a plant a few months to grow, depending on the plant, of course. Same thing with your ideas. The universe has a gestation period for your ideas. It could be, if you plant that idea today, it could be 6 months. It could be 3 months. It could be 2 months. One of my mentors, Tony Robbins, said that we overestimate what we can do in 6 months and we underestimate what we can do in like 3 to 5 years. And that's just so true. I also put it this way. Would you rather me give you $1,000 today, or would you like $50,000 in 1 year? Right? Because the compounding effect, the work that you do today as an entrepreneur is going to make a difference a year from now. So a lot of people get in this mindset of instant gratification, trading time for money. That's not what you're doing here. The goodwill, as you plant that seed and water that seed every single day, yeah, you might not see that seed is growing into a plant right off the bat, but then all of a sudden you wake up one day and you go outside and you're like, whoa, the seed just popped. I wasn't seeing anything yesterday. Now I see this plant just completely starting to grow. And it's just going to be like that within your business. You're going to go a few months, you might not have success. And then all of a sudden, boom, you have a $3,000, $5,000 month. And then you jump up to $10,000. But you need to be patient to get to that point. Okay. So what I've got for you is I've got a goal card template for you down below that you can download. And then I got my top personal development resources below. This is a Rolodex of, for example, that Bob Proctor seminar, many other books that you can get access to and you can read virtually. I'm going to put just my whole Rolodex of all my personal development assets below. This will give you hours upon hours upon hours upon hours of personal development and study. And if you dedicate yourself to doing this every single day, because this is the most important part, right? When you don't have a foundation to a house, you can't try and build your business. When you don't have a strong mindset and you go out there and you try to implement these things I'm going to teach you in this course, you're not going to have the belief in yourself to go out there and do it. That's why there's tons of great information out there and you wonder why people fail. It's because of the mindset. It's because of the things that we talked about here. So fill out your goal card, study the Rolodex of resources that I have below every single day. At least do it for 20, 30 minutes a day. That's it. Get up 20, 30 minutes a day earlier. If your why is big enough, you're going to make it happen. So hope you got value from this module, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.